committed are you to your growth or success? I'll ask that again. How committed are you to your growth and success? I'm not talking about desire. I want to be clear. You can desire to grow. You can desire to be successful. You can desire to be great. But how committed are you to that desire? Because desire and commitment, they are different things. My experience has taught me that everyone desires to be successful. Everyone desires to grow. Everyone desires to prosper. The desire, if it is not matched with commitment, is just pipe dreams. That's all it is. You can have the best and the best ideas. You will die with them because you are not committed. I want you to think about a seed. There's potential and capacity in that seed to become a tree. All it needs is the right environment and it's going to grow. If the tree grows, what happens? People are attracted to the tree. In fact, when Jesus went to a fig tree, he was attracted because he expected fruit. When he didn't see, then he cursed the tree to die. If you are going to grow to the extent to which you're going to be valuable, people are going to come to you. You will not go to people. Because now you're no longer a seed. You've harnessed your potential. You've grown to a tree. You are bearing fruit. Guess what? Your fruit will attract people to you. I'm going to look at what I've titled 4 of the major barriers to growing. The first major barrier to growth is what I call your mindset. You cannot grow beyond your thinking, your imagination. It's not the desire of God for us to excel spiritually and to suffer in life. His divine power has given us everything we need for life. It didn't even talk about the spiritual first. It says for life and then godliness. If you know the story about Gideon, the story is simple. They were being oppressed by the Midianites. When they planted their crop, they could not harvest. Someone else will come and harvest it. So he was so afraid that they only come out there at night. They gather some of the grain, go and hide in a cave to try and make bread. And we see a scene where he was in the process of doing that, and the angel of the Lord showed up. From every human perspective, this guy looks like a coward. He had the enemies at his gate, and he doesn't have the guts to come out during the day to confront them. He comes out at night. That's a human perspective. But God saw him from the perspective of his divine potential and destiny. And so the angel of the Lord addressed him as mighty warrior. And his response was, what the heck are you saying? Do you know who I am? Do you know how insignificant that I am? Do you understand that I come from the smallest and the weakest family? And do you understand that within that family, I am the smallest and the weakest in this family? You are surely talking about someone else. If you want mighty people in the Society of Canada, go to this house, but you've come to the wrong address. You get it? You've come to the wrong address. That was his response to an angel. You've come to the wrong address. And then there was a dialogue. And eventually, the angel helped him do what? Change his mindset. The angel said this to him. It says, go in the strength in which you have. I want you to realize that the angel did not give him any additional special strength. All the angel did was try to change his mindset. It took 5 encounters and challenges for God to transform the mind of Moses. Moses was content with taking care of sheep. He was content with his current situation. He wasn't going to grow beyond that until he encountered God and God changed his mindset. It's not your current situation that will determine your future. I'll say it again. It's not your current situation that will determine your future. It's your current mindset that will determine your future. Yes. Your situation today will not determine whether you grow in your spiritual life, whether you grow in your family life, whether you grow in your career, whether you grow in your family and finances. It's the mindset that you've subscribed to that will determine how well you will grow and succeed in every area of life. Because all God did with Moses again was to change his mindset. And this is what I love about that. God said this. What do you have in your hand? You see the same pattern. He went to Gideon and says, go in the strength in which you already have. In Moses was a shepherd. So he was most comfortable with the staff. So God always uses that which you already have. Remember, as we said, as I said from the beginning, he has already given you what you need for life and godliness. But for us at times, we are waiting that, I'm just waiting for more power. Oh, if God just gives me more power, I'm going to destroy this world. I'm just waiting for a bit more investment. Like the money I have now, I can't really do anything with it. If God just allow me, oh God, just allow me, let me win this 10 million lottery. Woo! I'm going to be so rich. No. In your mindset, what you have is just not enough. Therefore, I can't do anything. Do you know that that's the mindset that Jesus was trying to deal with in the parable of the talent? The guy with 1 talent says, what can I do with 1 talent? I can't do anything. He gave that guy 10, 5. He gave me 1. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. No. You can do something. I'm here to tell you that you have enough to begin. That's right. Whether it's in your spiritual life, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your finances, whether it's with your family, your children, you have enough to begin. What you have, it's not so insignificant that you cannot start sowing that like a seed. Okay, Romans 12 verse 2. It says, allow God to transform you into a different person by changing the way you think. I would think that would say, well, allow God to give you let the man of God lay his hand on you. You know, laying of hands cannot transform your mind. It cannot. You see, God has delivered us from sin and we are destined for heaven. But we can be very saved for heaven and we can really suffer in this life based on the way we think. Those are 2 different things. If you are going to grow in any area, by any dimension, the way you think has to be transformed. If you're going to overcome barriers, you have to ask yourself, are you in the right environment? My mother-in-law is a farmer by trade. That's what she's done all her life. So when she was coming from Cameroon, she brought corn to plant. She brought peanuts, all those stuff to plant. That was the first year she came. She planted her corn. We're going to the farm diligently, watering the farm, doing everything. And this corn from Cameroon, it was just going tall. It almost touched the ceiling here. And winter came and killed it. I want you to think about it. Kernel of grain from Cameroon does not grow in Canada. If you're going to overcome barriers, you have to ask yourself, are you in the right environment? Because it doesn't matter how gifted you are. It doesn't matter how much potential you have. It doesn't how much you're investing. If you put that seed in the wrong environment, you are not going to just grow. You are not going to reap anything because it's the wrong environment. Your environment will either provoke growth or it's going to restrain you. You have to understand there's nothing like a neutral environment. We have to be careful. Your environment either suffocate and restrain the potential and the gifts and the grace you have, or it's going to challenge and it's going to provoke you to grow. Are you an artist? Look for a community of artists. You know, if you hang out with me, you're an artist, either you sing or you paint. Guess what? I'm not going to help you. That's just the fact. I can help you. But you have to say that, what is my potential? What are my dreams? And you find a community and an environment that can challenge you to bring that out of you. We want environments that are comfortable, that do not stretch us, that do not, that just leaves us comfortable. Don't disturb me, just leave me where I am. Well, you will never grow. That's guaranteed and predictable. You will never grow. Jesus was saying that this is what environment can do to you. If you find yourself in the wrong environment, it can choke you. No matter how excited or passionate, it's going to kill you. But if you put yourself in the right environment, the only thing you have to wait for is how much is the harvest going to be. But there's going to be a harvest. The next I have is what I call the fear of failure. Whew. That used to be one of mine. I don't know about you. You're so scared. But what if I don't make it? But what if God does not show up? What if I step out and I say, I want to pray for this sister. I believe God can heal you. But what if I pray and God does not? What if I go to this job interview and they do not give me the job? What if I try this business and the business fails? Fear of failure. Fear of failure. The Bible is clear about fear. It says fear is a snare or a trap. A trap is something that holds you back. You understand what a trap is? So we set traps to catch animals. It holds you and it brings you back. Museums like the Museum of Aviation, what they document is a history of failure. You have to understand this. While we were going there, I started reading that. It struck me. And I realized that growth or success is a product of persistent and incremental failures. The Museum of Aviation is incremental failure. They'll tell you, this was the first person who tried to fly. This is how he failed. The next person saw what that person did, bet on it, tried to fly, and this is how it failed. The other person saw what the other person did, tried to improve on it, and this is how it failed. Eventually, the Wright brothers, you have to understand this about the Wright brothers. They had just high school education. Understand this. High school. There were other doctorates and PhDs that were trying to solve the same issue. They were persistent and they learned from other mistakes, and they were the first people to fly. And today we fly all over the world. But if you are afraid to even start, guess what? You can never grow. I have failed multiple times. I have failed in business. I've lost money. I have failed in my career, in different areas. I have failed in certain decisions and the way I've run my family. I have failed in relationships. I have failed in school. I mean, those who've been here quite a while, they know my story. I tell people boldly, because I give glory to God, that I don't know any person like me that has ever been the last in the class and then be the first in the class. If you know somebody, please come and tell me. I don't know. If you are afraid to try, you will never grow. You will never succeed. Because growth and success, I'll say it again, is a product of persistent and incremental failure. Your view of failure will determine how successful and how much you grow. Your view. If you see failure as, I am finished, I am dead, of course, then you never try it. But if you're willing to try in a safe way and learn and incrementally keep trying, you're going to grow. Move to the next for the sake of time. So we've talked about mindset, that if we are going to grow, or barrier to growth is our mindset. We have to see ourselves the way God sees us. We've talked about our environment. We have to purposefully seek environments that challenge us. You know, one of the greatest ways, if you want to become a marathon sprint runner, if you are running with the people that are slower than you, you will never win the medal because you think that you are the best. But if you are running with someone who is better than you, you are going to get as better as them. Environment. The third thing we've talked about is fear of failure. I want to end on this because this is really important. Our commitment to our growth. How committed are you to your growth or success? I'll ask that again. How committed are you to your growth and success? I'm not talking about desire. I want to be clear. You can desire to grow. You can desire to be successful. You can desire to be great. But how committed are you to that desire? Because desire and commitment, they are different things. Desire, my experience has taught me that everyone desires to be successful. Everyone desires to grow. Everyone desires to prosper. The desire, if it is not matched with commitment, is just pipe dreams. That's all it is. You can have the biggest and the best ideas. You will die with them because you are not committed. Two experiences that I'm going to relate to you guys. I had a young man in my life. The young man is talented, he's an athlete. The young man is in university. The first term in university, the first year, the guy flung all his courses. He had like 20%. That's it. So the guy, I don't know, he made me encounter him. He told me his story. I said, okay, I'm going to mentor you. He's a football player on a football team in a school. And because his grades are not good, they have to pull him out from the team. So he came. It was a summertime. We mentored him, encouraged him, preached to him. We were praying with him consistently. He went the next step. Bang, he went up to 70. I told him certain things that he had to do. I said, man, one, your company, your environment is wrong. Because he tells me everything he does, whether it's good or bad. That was a guy who was just open. I said, you have to change. You have to move. If these are your housemates, change house. He didn't do it. Summertime came again. His results started going down. He came. His mother does everything for him. Everything, even gives him allowance. So I said, man, this is not good. At times, if I have to meet him, I have to send him money to get the bus ticket. I did that a while. Then I called him. I said, okay, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you a job. A full-time job, 30 hours. We're going to pay you $15 an hour. Guess what? The guy turned down the job. Now, he has the potential. He has the desire. He has the potential to become a successful athlete, but he doesn't have the commitment. And there I told him that word, man, if you don't change, you get it. When someone chooses not to be committed, I wipe my hands. It's a waste of time. I gave him a job, 30 hours a week, $15 an hour. Remember, just the week before, I sent him money to buy a bus ticket. His mother is the one who gave me allowance. He turned down the job, and he had no job. I said, oh God, I'll not waste my time. I have better people to focus on. He had the desire. He had the potential, but he's not committed. How committed are you to your growth and success? The second one, I've shared this year. I have a bunch of young people in my life. He knows they're about 10 to 15. They drop up in my house occasionally, we talk. So this summer that just passed, I said, I need more discipline. I do stuff purposefully. I want to ask myself, if I hang out with these people, what is the end result? Before I even start hanging out with them, what is the end result? At the end of summer, I want them to go with something. And I want to feel as if my investment and my time was useful. I say, guys, you guys admire me, yes? Well, we want to be like you, Uncle Jay. That's what they call me. Uncle Jay, we want to be like you. You love me? Oh, yes. Okay. Let me teach you what I do to become like me. I read a lot of books. So I'm not going to ask you to read a lot of books like me. I'm just going to take one book. Let's go through it in 4 months. Every 2 weeks, read two chapters. Ah! 2 chapters! 2 chapters every 2 weeks! Now, this is a book on harnessing your potential. They screamed. They said, okay, we'll try. I bought my own book. I told them it's $15. Buy the book. First meeting, 2 people showed up. Remember, without any structure, nothing, just talk. Hi, everyone shows up, 10 to 15. They are not committed. They desire to be like me in their careers. They desire to be like me in their work with the Lord. They desire to be like me, how I treat and raise my family. But they are not committed to their growth. By the second week, nobody showed up, and that's how I ended. This summer, nobody showed up. They used to book meetings with me. I don't have to tell you guys I'm busy, because you guys know I hang out with a lot of you people. At times you want to see me, I said I don't have time. So I will cancel meeting with you, and I will block time, and they will call me 30 minutes before, hi, Uncle Jay, something else came up. We got 10 people, nobody show up. So I told them, guys, if we're going to do something, if you tell me that you're going to come, you don't come, you pay me $20. So by the second meeting, everybody drop off. If you are going to grow, you have to be committed. You become what you invest in. You have to be committed to your growth. I'm going to end with this. The preacher says this: show me a man who is diligent in his business, and I'm going to show you a man who is going to stand in front of kings. Diligence. It talks about discipline. You invest in yourself, and you do what you do very well, that you are going to stand in front of kings. You're not going to stand before ordinary men. That's growth. Diligence. There's a quote here that is attributed to a philosopher from the 19th century. His name is Ralph Emerson. It says, if a man can write a better book, if a preacher can preach a better sermon, or if a person can make a better mousetrap than anybody else, even if that person lives in the jungle, Even if that person lives in the jungle, there's going to be a well-beaten path to that person's house. It doesn't matter where you live, guys. Do not seek wealth. Do not seek money. Seek to increase your value. Increase your spiritual value. Increase your career value. Increase your value in your family. People are going to come to you. Jobs are going to come to you. You are going to decide how much people will pay you. Because if you become truly among the best in what you do, no matter what you do, people are going to come for you.